Dolton. Illinois has been rocked by political unrest, with Mayor Tiffany Henyard at the center of a growing storm of controversy known for her combative leadership style. Henyard has become a symbol of numerous legal battles, dubious rulings, and scandals that have severely tarnished her reputation. Her defiance of legal scrutiny and public opinion has earned her the nickname Super Mayor Dolton, reflecting her seemingly unshakable ability to dodge legal consequences and withstand public outrage. However, as tensions continue to escalate, many are questioning whether Henyard's defiance signals strength and resilience or reveals a politician who disregards the law for personal and political gain. The latest scandal centers on her controversial appointment of Ronald Burge as interim police chief, despite Burge's Illinois law enforcement training and standards board certification having expired, making him legally unqualified to carry a firearm. Henyard pushed forward with the appointment. What initially seemed like a routine administrative decision spiraled into a legal nightmare when concerns about Burge's qualifications surfaced. Multiple warnings were issued by the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board and Dolton's town trustees. But Henyard proceeded with the appointment, prompting legal action alarmed by the situation. The trustees sought a restraining order to prevent Burge from assuming the role, although a judge initially ruled in favor of the trustees. The decision was overturned after a heated board meeting, allowing Burge to serve for 30 days. This short-lived victory did little to ease tensions, as trustees, backed by the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, continued to argue that Burge should not serve due to his expired certification. The controversy raised serious questions about Henyard's judgment, with critics accusing her of prioritizing political loyalty over the safety and well-being of Dolton's residents, potentially undermining the legitimacy of the police force since taking office in 2021. Henyard has been embroiled in numerous legal disputes, questionable appointments, and personal scandals that have eroded her standing in the community. One of the most significant criticisms of her leadership is her extravagant spending habits, including lavish vacations, fancy dinners, and even a Valentine's Day celebration complete with a private DJ and selfies. These indulgences have fueled accusations that Henyard is out of touch with her office's financial realities and blatantly disregards Dolton's fiscal stability. In a time when local governments are struggling to balance budgets and address pressing community needs, Henyard's excesses have raised alarms about her priorities. Critics argue that her actions reveal more significant concern for her image and comfort than for the well-being of the town she governs. Compounded controversy are Henyard's questionable appointments. Many of these appointments have involved individuals with suspect backgrounds placed in key positions of power. Critics argue that Henyard has been more focused on consolidating power within her inner circle than on ensuring Dolton's government operates transparently, efficiently, and in compliance with the law. These actions have raised concerns about her ability to lead effectively, with many questioning whether her leadership is driven more by political loyalty and personal ambition than by a genuine desire to serve Dolton's residents. The impact of Henyard's leadership style has been especially alarming given the significant role the mayor plays in shaping the town's policies and public perception. Her controversial decisions have left many wondering if her time in office has irreparably damaged the community's trust in its government. Despite mounting criticism, Henyard has remained defiant, repeatedly defending her decisions and refusing to back down, even as public sentiment increasingly turns against her. While some supporters continue to rally behind her, citing her determination to stand up to critics, this support is waning as more residents begin to question whether Henyard's leadership style is conducive to a stable, thriving community. The ongoing scandals, legal battles, and Henyard's apparent disregard for Dolton's financial and ethical well-being have cast a dark shadow over her tenure. Many are now questioning whether the damage to the town's reputation and the erosion of public trust can be repaired. Henyard's defiance in the face of mounting criticism has become a defining characteristic of her leadership. While some see it as a sign of resolve, many others view it as a weakness that only deepens the mistrust surrounding her ability to lead. The situation took a more personal turn when Henyard became embroiled in a high-profile eviction lawsuit, further adding to her controversial public image. Henyard, along with her partner Kamal Woods, was accused by her former friend and landlord Janetti of changing the locks on a rental property to avoid necessary maintenance. This legal drama only deepens public concerns about her ability to manage both personal and professional responsibilities, raising questions about her fitness to lead the town. Moreover, Henyard's troubles have become increasingly intertwined with her professional life, further alienating Dolton residents who are already frustrated with her controversial decisions, lavish spending habits, and questionable appointments. Critics argue that Henyard's leadership has become more focused on consolidating power within her inner circle and defending her interests rather than serving the town's residents. Her extravagant spending, including lavish vacations and indulgent events, has sparked outrage, especially as residents struggle with financial instability. These actions have only deepened perceptions of Henyard's detachment from the town's realities. The recent appointment of Ronald Burge as interim police chief, despite his expired certification, has sparked another controversy, with trustees and Illinois law enforcement training and standards board raising legal concerns. This decision, along with other questionable appointments, has further damaged Henyard's credibility, leading many to question her judgment and ability to effectively lead the town. In conclusion, Tiffany Henyard's tenure as mayor of Dolton, Illinois, has been defined by a series of scandals, legal troubles, and a growing public disillusionment with her leadership. What was once seen as a disruptive force in local politics is now viewed by many as an administration mired in dysfunction, personal controversies, and questionable decision-making. Henyard's defiant leadership style and her refusal to yield to legal scrutiny and public pressure have fueled a toxic environment within local government. As her legal and personal battles continue to unfold, the future of her political career and the trust of Dolton's residents remain in question. Tiffany Henyard, mayor of Dolton, Illinois, finds herself at the center of escalating controversy as a series of questionable decisions, personal issues, and legal battles continue to spiral out of control, severely tarnishing her reputation and leadership. Her administration has been marked by contentious appointments, actions that bend the rules of governance, and increasing public frustration over the management of taxpayer money. As Henyard prepares for her re-election bid, the growing list of scandals, including investigations into her financial dealings, has cast a dark shadow over her political future. The latest blow to Henyard's credibility comes with reports that the FBI is investigating her for alleged financial misconduct from her time as supervisor of Ford Township. Federal authorities have subpoenaed documents related to the misappropriation of public funds, including suspicious government contracts and lavish personal spending. Among the revelations are extravagant events and purchases that seem more suited for private citizens and public officials, such as using public funds to make a $443,000 Amazon purchase on a single day. These reports have only deepened concerns about Henyard's ability to manage Dolton's finances, which are already under scrutiny due to the town's growing budget deficit. Many Dolton residents are alarmed by reports that vendors have not been paid for months, further highlighting her fiscal irresponsibility. As pressure mounts, Henyard's defiant stance, refusing to back down in the face of legal challenges and public outrage, has raised questions about whether her refusal to acknowledge her shortcomings signals strength or stubbornness that endangers the town's future. With each new scandal adding to an ever-growing list, Henyard's chances of retaining power seem to be diminishing. Public dissatisfaction is reaching a boiling point, and many residents, once hopeful for change under her leadership, are now questioning whether her personal and professional problems have become insurmountable obstacles to effective governance. Henyard's failure to address the town's urgent financial needs has fueled anger and frustration among residents. Despite the growing budget deficit, which has reached a staggering $5 million, Henyard's focus appears to be more on defending herself against political critics than on managing Dolton's fiscal crisis. Her reckless spending of taxpayer dollars on personal indulgences has only worsened the situation, leading to widespread dissatisfaction. As the town grapples with financial instability, Henyard's leadership is increasingly seen as consumed by personal battles and scandals rather than addressing the pressing issues facing Dolton. The defiant attitude she's maintained in response to mounting criticism only seems to alienate the public further. Henyard has consistently dismissed accusations of wrongdoing, framing them as part of a political power grab, and refused to step down. This combative response, which she defended in a highly contentious 90-minute Facebook Live session, has only served to deepen the divide between her and the residents of Dolton. Many feel that Henyard's focus is more on protecting her position than on ensuring the town's financial stability or addressing the community's concerns with the upcoming election looming. The question remains, can Henyard overcome the mounting legal battles, personal scandals, and growing public disillusionment? Or is the time right for a change in leadership that could restore trust and stability to Dolton? The outlook seems bleak as her leadership continues to unravel, with residents increasingly questioning whether her time in office will be remembered as a failed experiment in leadership. The financial situation in Dolton continues to worsen, with the general fund balance plummeting from nearly $5 million in 2022 to just $3 million by May 2024, leaving the town with a $6.5 million deficit. This sharp decline has sparked outrage, with residents questioning how such poor financial management could occur under Henyard's watch. Despite the evidence of her mismanagement, Henyard has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. In her Facebook Live session, she dismissed the accusations and framed them as part of a political attack. Her combative, defensive stance has done little to quell the growing dissatisfaction. The public is left wondering whether Henyard can recover her political standing, or if Dolton is in desperate need of new leadership to navigate its current crisis as Henyard's re-election campaign gains momentum. The town of Dolton finds itself grappling with turmoil and disillusionment. The growing list of scandals, coupled with her declining approval ratings, casts a long shadow over her political future. While some of her supporters see her defiance as a sign of strength and resilience, many others view it as a desperate attempt to cling to power at all costs. The town is left wondering whether Henyard's defiant stance will lead to her downfall, or she can somehow retain power despite the growing opposition, and scandals the road ahead remains uncertain. But one thing is clear. Henyard's leadership has left Dolton in a state of dysfunction and uncertainty, as the town faces its most significant financial crisis in recent memory. The question of whether Henyard is the right person to lead Dolton into a more stable future is being asked more loudly than ever. The future of the town now hangs in the balance as her re-election bid unfolds. The stakes are high, and the outcome of the election will likely determine the future of Dolton's leadership for years to come. With the town's financial stability and public trust on the line, residents are left to grapple with the legacy of Henyard's controversial and turbulent time in office. Dolton, Illinois, is facing a dire financial crisis, and Mayor Tiffany Henyard's leadership is at the heart of the town's unraveling. With a budget deficit nearing $5 million, the town is grappling with severe fiscal instability, much of which residents attribute to Henyard's mismanagement. Instead of confronting the financial collapse head-on, Henyard has continuously deflected blame, refusing to acknowledge her role in Dolton's decline. This avoidance has not only alienated the public, but also intensified calls for her resignation. Despite mounting pressure, Henyard remains defiant, portraying herself as a victim of political conspiracy rather than accepting responsibility for her failures. This refusal to take accountability has further eroded her credibility, leaving many residents questioning her ability to lead effectively. The financial crisis, now a harsh reality, has overshadowed any potential positive contributions Henyard may have made during her tenure. Her actions, including her continuous failure to address Dolton's financial problems and her inability to engage openly with the public, have intensified public frustration. One of her most notable broken promises is the failure to start a podcast to address the town's issues. Her reluctance to engage directly with residents and offer concrete solutions has only reinforced the belief that she is more concerned with maintaining power than resolving Dolton's pressing issues. This has deepened public disillusionment, as Henyard's combative and defensive approach to criticism paints a picture of a leader who is either unwilling or unable to confront the serious challenges the town faces. Henyard's credibility has also been severely damaged by ongoing personal legal battles, including an eviction lawsuit over unpaid rent. This dispute with her landlord has only added to the perception that Henyard is incapable of managing both her personal and professional responsibilities. Critics argue that her failure to address Dolton's financial crisis, coupled with her ongoing personal legal issues, paints a troubling portrait of a leader more focused on self-preservation than on solving the town's dire problems. As the financial situation deteriorates and public trust continues to erode, many Dolton residents are questioning whether Henyard can continue to lead effectively. The combination of fiscal mismanagement, personal scandals, and Henyard's combative approach to criticism has created a volatile political environment. With the town's future hanging in the balance, residents are left wondering whether Henyard's leadership can be salvaged, or if Dolton will be forced to find new leadership to restore order and trust. The town is now facing the stark reality that its financial stability is in jeopardy. Henyard's inability to address the growing deficit or take meaningful action has left Dolton teetering on the edge of collapse. The general fund balance, once nearly $5 million, has plummeted, and residents are left questioning how such poor financial management could occur. Henyard has consistently dismissed accusations of mismanagement, instead deflecting blame and framing the criticism as part of a political attack. This lack of accountability has only fueled public frustration and deepened mistrust among Dolton residents as investigations into Henyard's actions continue. The town is left confronting the possibility that the mayor may not only have mismanaged its finances, but could also be involved in illegal activities, such as embezzlement or financial misconduct. Federal authorities are reportedly looking into her financial dealings, adding yet another layer of scrutiny to her embattled leadership. The ongoing legal issues, coupled with her failure to address Dolton's fiscal instability, have left residents questioning whether Henyard is truly the victim of political attacks, or whether she is the primary cause of the town's turmoil. Calls for transparency and accountability continue to grow louder, yet Henyard remains in denial, offering vague reassurances and deflecting blame. This failure to engage directly with the concerns of Dolton's residents has only deepened the sense of instability and uncertainty. With the town edging closer to financial collapse, The question is increasingly becoming whether Henyard can recover her political standing or her leadership has reached an irrevocable end to growing financial instability, coupled with ongoing personal scandals, has left Dolton in a state of turmoil. Residents are now grappling with the harsh reality that Henyard's leadership may have brought the town to the brink of collapse. Public dissatisfaction is reaching a fever pitch, and Henyard's refusal to take responsibility for her actions is rapidly making her position untenable. As the upcoming election looms, the future of Dolton hangs in the balance, and the outcome of Henyard's leadership will likely determine whether the town can recover from its current crisis or continue down a path of instability and dysfunction. Dolton is at a critical crossroads, with residents questioning whether Henyard will continue to lead or if the time has come for a change in leadership. The stakes are higher than ever, and the election will likely shape the future of the town for years to come. With each new revelation of poor financial decisions, personal scandals, and a failure to confront Dolton's challenges, Henyard's credibility continues to erode. The future of the town now rests on whether Henyard can salvage her reputation, or whether Dolton will demand new leadership that can restore order, stability, and trust to the community. The answer to this question will define Dolton's path forward in the years ahead.